Here he is. Join now. You can see him on Young Rock on NBC playing the young Ed Orgeron. Emmett, what's happening, man? Good morning.
Good morning, man. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm disappointed about Chrissy Teigen, man, but I'm good. I'll get over it, man. I'll get over it.
Yeah, so you lost a lot of sleep last night over that, I'm sure, huh?
Oh, so much. Well, actually, it's 2:30 a.m. in New Zealand, so I just haven't gone to sleep yet.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, wow. So you're really waking up with me here. I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, because I didn't know if you're gonna be in New Zealand or you're gonna be in LA or where the hell you were gonna be. So I appreciate it.
Good, man. Either or, it's all my pleasure, man.
Are you? What do you? You got some coffee that you're drinking on there? You a coffee guy?
That's water right now. I'll go to sleep after this. I'm definitely a coffee guy, man. Definitely a coffee guy.
Yeah. What kind? Are you just like how do you take
it? Straight black.
I feel like that's like a New Zealand thing. Like
yeah. We call it a long black here, like an Americano.
Okay, yeah. I feel like if in New Zealand, if you got too much cream or milk or anything, I feel like that's just not allowed.
You'll be judged, man. You'll be judged very easily.
I love the LSU hat. It's looking good. It's very on brand. Did you pick that up when you were in the States? Did they gift that to you?
No, I actually got this one. I got other stuff from set, but this one I got from a company called Culture Kings, which I'm not sponsored by the way, who do a lot of NCAA stuff, t-shirts and hats and things like that. So yeah, I've been waiting for this one for a while. Shipping right now, not ideal.
No, especially I can imagine, getting out there to New Zealand and everything. Not the best. So a guy from New Zealand, and you have this opportunity, and you get cast as a young Ed Orgeron, playing on a show about the young Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I mean, how'd this come to be, man?
Well, like every show that happens, there's always an audition process.
Yeah.
And so getting this one come across to me was obviously looking at a picture of Ed Orgeron. You posted a picture of him when he was, mulleted. I feel like he's about 20 years old there. And that's actually the photograph that they sent me as a reference. I was like, right, cool, okay. That's something to go off. All I knew about his image was that, and then all I knew about his voice was a couple of videos that they sent me.
Yeah,
saying they're looking for a specific voice here. And for me, I'm always been a massive fan of accents and really specific stuff with voiceover work. I was like, shit, we'll give it a crack, And so when I first auditioned for it, I sent a tape to the States, and they loved it. They just said, can you do it one more time, but so that we can understand what you're saying? I was like, oh, okay, all right. Because listen to his stuff. I mean, the real Coach O, there's so many words and phrases that he says that you can't quite understand. I mean, Twitter will be a testament to that. The amount of people that have gone, why can we understand Coach O so much? The answer to that is because we're on TV. And NBC is not subtitling Coach Orgeron. So you gotta clean that up for that reason. But yeah, so when I first auditioned for it, I just went for gold with his sound and his energy and his attitude towards things, and yeah, fortunately enough, I made it all the way through to being on air right now for it.
Yeah, man, that's incredible, and you're right. Like, when I put the Ed Orgeron videos that I do out there, there's always those people that are like, it's that sounds good, but I can understand you, so it's not as much like Coach O. And I'm like, well,
yeah. You don't got to tie it up some way,
Right? You don't want to just mumble through it. You know what I mean? Like,
and there's some videos where you can completely understand what he's saying because it's the start of the season. He's probably hasn't been screaming all day.
Sure.
And then there's other videos where it could literally be Farmer Fran.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, did you have any did you watch any Farmer Fran videos at all to give you
dude, I know Adam Sandler movies so well, so I was avoiding Farmer Fran like the plague. But I was like, but when I first heard the video from my agent, I was like, this Farmer Fran has to be inspired by Coach O. I don't understand how Farmer Friend isn't inspired by Coach O for talking about college football.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny. And the fact that, like, the fact that the Waterboy is a school in Louisiana, and then, and then now we have Coach O, it's LSU as well. It's like there's some correlation there, and there has to be.
Yeah.
So you work. I mean, when you work on a show like this about a guy like The Rock and his life, how much interaction, if any interaction, have you had with him? I know he has to have some sort of say in the show. What is that for you?
So early interaction when we were first developing the characters and the stories and stuff. So we did read-throughs for kind of the month of September and October before we got into shooting, and his involvement was so he'd be at the read-throughs, but he would also be expressing how important these stories were to him, how integral these characters were in his life. And he made it very, very clear early on. Like, for example, it's very easy to make a caricature of Coach O.
Yeah.
But one thing that he was very clear on was these people had a huge impact on his life. And these people are still huge impacts on his life. And he'd want those people to watch it and laugh rather than watch it and feel any kind of belittlement or judgment. Yeah. So we're trying to tell a story about how much he appreciates these people and what impact they had, as opposed to just sort of funny shit that happened in their lives,
right?
In his life, Okay. So his involvement, I would say that not only is he working with the producers and the writers and the directors to tell that story, but for us, he was really carrying the heart when we would do the read-throughs of here's where we want this world to be, and this is the story that we want to tell.
Incredible. That's got to be, he's such a presence. I can imagine that it had to be intimidating to play a role like that for him.
Absolutely intimidating, but also really like inspiring to hear, firstly, how appreciative he was that this story was existing. In no way was there a assumption that he deserves to have this story told. It was always an excitement that he was having the opportunity to do it.
Nice.
And then on top of that, there was just this. He was excited. He was really happy. And when we do the read-throughs, because obviously he has a voice in it as well. So when he was doing his read-throughs and stuff, we'd get to see him trial and error with some of his dialogue and change things on the fly. Like, he's a worker. He's a really, really hard worker. So to see, someone who's at the top of their game still just trying to figure stuff out on the fly, as an actor who's on his way up, is like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the kind that I want to be.
Absolutely. Do you have any insight? Is he planning a presidential run in America?
Oh yeah. No, I don't know. Definitely, you heard it here, guys. I'm not really sure. I think that was always that element of the story was a vehicle to ensure that he was in the show. Because Nahnatchka Khan, the creator of it, she's a freaking genius. She's got multiple shows that she's made, Bachelor Apartment 23, Fresh Off the Boat, all these ones that use different devices. But this one in particular was like, how do we have Dwayne Johnson's presence in the show when it's a huge flashback world, And that was one way they saw it happening. But I mean, in this day and age, the Terminator was the governor of California. So, and then another person was just the president of the state.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't put it past Dwayne Johnson to give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a likable guy, and it's like, hey, if he's the president, who's fucking with us? If he's the president, it's like, I don't think so.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah.
We'll just send him over.
You'll actually see it threaded through the series. He talks about some of his values and his policies. The one that just came out, or episode 4 that came out in the 1990, the Miami era. He talks about mental health and how important it is, not only in university and college, but also generally for the nation to have, focus on mental health.
Yeah,
that's the kind of shit that he'd be focusing on if he was the president. So. Except for knowing that he'd kick anyone's fucking ass, his policies, I think, would be pretty damn appealing too.
All right. Who knows? Maybe in 8 to 12 years we could look back on this interview and it's like, hey, Joey and Emmett were talking about it first. They were.
That's
they were
right, man. That's right.
You're breaking news. Okay, so then you had that interaction with The Rock. I got to know, has there been any back and forth with Coach O himself? Any meeting of the minds? Anything like that?
No, but I mean, for me, my research was how I met Coach O's mind. I read everything I could, as much as possible. But in terms of interactions, I knew he was going to be in as part of the show, and for a reason, I didn't contact him to try and cross-pollinate that, because he was going to be, as you just saw in the latest episode, he was going to be a surprise pop-up at the end for Dwayne.
Right.
So yeah, no contact as I developed the character, but have reached out since. And once the season quietens down, I'm gonna get my ass over to Louisiana and hang out.
Dude, we should double up if you don't mind. I like to ride your coattails. And we should have and we should take a picture of me, you, and him in the circle, like I said, the Spider-Man meme, and we're all just pointing at each other.
Yeah, man, I would love that. That would be badass.
Coach O, the guy who played Coach O, and then the idiot online who just does an impersonation of Coach O, all just
and him just giggling in the middle of that. What's the fuck is this guy? Yeah, man, that'd be fun shit. I would love that. Well, I think it'll be August, September. So I'll hit you up, man.
Yeah, I was supposed to go down there last fall, but obviously, with the pandemic and everything going on, that changed, and I didn't want my first experience in Death Valley to be during that. So I'm hoping that, with the vaccine and everything, we can, by that time, September or so, can be cleared to go down there. So yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, hopefully the season gets full capacity. What is it? 102,000 seat Death Valley.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah, a lot of roaring tigers in there. So how, when you're playing somebody as an actor, and obviously I'm just somebody who does impersonations online and stuff, but when you go from, what's the difference between acting as that person and then just impersonating that person, right? Because I'm sure you don't want to just there's got to be a difference in there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then you've got the added element of being on network TV,
right?
Which so obviously you got the voice down, right?
Yeah.
So we got the voice, but also you want to look at the behavior, the mentality, the values, all these elements that go into the physical, how he carries himself physically, and then also how he, I've got a script written for me. So how do if we're talking about values, how do his values, which the ones for me that are really hard are hard work, honesty, and family. Those are three really big things that helped drive my work, and I think also drive Dwayne Johnson's work. So I go, cool, that's kind of the values that we'd hit really hard on in the story of Young Rock. And if we're hitting hard on those ones for Coach O, how do those inform all the decisions I make around how my lines will be delivered or how my attitude will be towards him at any one time? Because you don't have someone on set going, hey, here's what Coach O would do. Or you don't have someone on set going, that's not quite a Coach O thing. That's not the focus of the work. So a lot of that comes on to me of, what would Coach O do? Right. Or how would Coach O carry himself in this moment? And it's a lot of it is in the research, Yeah. Not only reading, so both Bruce Feldman's books were good research, especially Coach O's one, Flip the Script. But then you've got all the interviews and you see how he delivers his thoughts. But then if someone asks him a question, how he processes that thought. One of the greatest videos to tell me who Coach O is him training at an LSU training where he fucking berates a dude for not. I think it might be what is it? Is it about elbows up? I can't remember what it is, but yeah, he berates a dude because while they're smashing pads in a D-line training.
Yeah.
And then of course the one where he's telling the guys to shut the fuck up when they're making noise in a press conference. You
That's
know,
legendary.
you go. That's the uncontrolled coach show who needed to make a choice in the moment.
Okay.
And that's where you get taught a lot more about the character rather than the ones that are quite reserved and planned and considered in a 60 Minutes interview or in another press conference where he's very clear on the direction of the conversation.
Yeah, man. You mentioned your stature. His Coach O, definitely. He's got that presence in his walk, and he's very and you have that for sure. So
and he's direct, man.
Well,
See, where I lack pounds in my weight, I was looking to give that in his energy going forward. He seems in nearly everything he does like the loveliest dude, but I've also talked to people he's coached, and how firm he is based on how passionate he is about the work, and that comes out in a really direct way.
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt. Okay, so you said that you're talking about Farmer Fran and Waterboy, big Adam Sandler guy. What's your favorite Sandler, or your couple favorite Sandlers?
Probably Billy Madison, man, but Waterboy, big fan of as well. And then ones that are less character, like Big Daddy, Big Heart, things like that.
Big Daddy. It's great.
Yeah.
It gets me every time. Like in that end scene when they squirt, I'm always like, shit, like I'll start crying and stuff. What about Happy Gilmore? Are you a Happy Gilmore guy?
Oh, I love Happy Gilmore, man. Yeah, my brother was a hockey player growing up. He still is, but so yeah, watching Happy Gilmore, and of course, as soon as you get your hands on a hockey stick and a golf ball, you are running at that motherfucker as fast as you can. So yeah, dude. Yeah.
Exactly.
And actually, it was great to see them do was it 25-year throwback or 20-year throwback recently?
Yeah. Last February was 25 years of Happy Gilmore. Yep.
That makes me. I mean, I'm only 33, man, but so that means I was watching Happy Gilmore. My mom let me watch Happy Gilmore at 8. Fuck, how's that for parenting, man?
We're a part of that same generation. Like I'm the same thing. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. I'm like 6 or 7 years old.
Great.
Let's go.
So great.
This is we're talking about Happy Gilmore. So this is my dog, Happy. We named him after Happy Gilmore, right there.
That's so cute, man. I love that. Yeah, I've seen pics and videos with you. Cool. After Happy Gilmore, I love that.
After Happy Gilmore, all right. Hey man, I know it's super late / early there. I can't thank you enough for staying up with me, and this has been a lot of fun, and I'm so glad we got to talk and meet. Can we do a Go Tigers and Coach O on 3 together?
Yeah, man.
Can we do that? All right, here we go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers! Awesome, man. And hey, dude, it's my pleasure. And I've told other interviewers this as well, man. But your work also helped me with developing that voice, because it's so hard to find all the specifics you can find. So him combined with his Mama Coco and with you, I managed to find all the elements of the voice that I could achieve in that.
I love that,
time. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Be sure to catch Emmett and Young Rock Tuesdays on NBC, 8 o'clock. You catch that. Do we have anything like what do we have any sneak peeks or previews of next week's episode you can leak or?
Next week's episode, I can't even think we were up to, but we're going back to 10-year-old Dewey, I think, coming up this week.
Okay.
So a lot more wrestling to come.
Gotcha.
I'd say that. Yeah, and a few more surprises coming up in the Miami era as time progresses too, and a few cool faces popping up. So that'll be one to watch.
I love it. Again, Young Rock, catch Emmett there playing Young Coach O on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock on NBC. Thanks so much, dude. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
My pleasure, pal. Take care.